Quentin Grimes has spoken out about Tom Thibodeau benching him and his improvement since then. And also, Dante Divincenzo has now slowed down as the Knicks' starting shooting guard. This is peculiar, and we have to talk about it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. My name is Chris, and let's jump right into things as we always do. Quentin Grimes has spoken out on getting benched by the New York Knicks. A few days ago, Tom Thibodeau benched Quentin Grimes before Friday's game against the Boston Celtics, a game the Knicks would ultimately lose, but he saw Quentin Grimes, we all saw it, Quentin Grimes played much better, and then Tibbs rolled with the same starting lineup, having Dante Divincenzo start in his place last night against the Toronto Raptors, and we saw Grimes ball out and show that confidence that we saw last season, and we also saw Dante Divincenzo not play that well. This is obviously now a peculiar situation why whoever's starting at Knicks shooting guard is not really playing well at all. So let's just talk about Quentin Grimes first and just see what he had to say on it. Essentially, when he was talking about his season as a starter, he said it feels like if he doesn't hit the shot, he's coming out of the game. And then said, so every shot he shoots probably weighs like 100 pounds. And if he doesn't make it and their defense, it's not cutting it, he knows he's not going back in. He said, I just know last year RJ missed a ton of games. Jalen Brunson missed some games. I had the ball in my hands a little bit more. I knew I wasn't coming out. I knew I wasn't going to be in there, or I knew I was going to be in there and get more shots, play the whole first quarter, the whole third quarter. I knew I had opportunities to get the ball and get my shots up. Now it's just a matter if the ball will come my way, really. Quentin Grimes was upset because he was not touching the ball. He was not getting shots. He was essentially told stand in the corner on offense and then play elite defense. They were misusing Grimes doing that. He realistically should be the Knicks' best shooter on the team. Certainly their best catch-and-shoot player. And they've basically relegated him to a role where he's just a 3-and-D player, even if he has more to add, which he's shown since coming off the bench that he can attack the paint well and that he is more than a 3-and-D player. But the Knicks don't seem to care. And something to mention is that Tom Thibodeau does like Quentin Grimes. It's not like a Cam Reddish situation where Tibbs just wasn't about it for some reason. Tibbs is a huge supporter of Quentin Grimes. He was one of the main reasons the Knicks drafted Grimes. He told the Knicks front office that he really liked him coming out of college. He thought Grimes was a tremendous player who works really hard, plays amazing defense, and can shoot the ball well. All of those things have proven to be true, but this season, Grimes has had unequivocally the least efficient and just straight up worst season of his career. If you look at his stats right here, the numbers are not great. He's averaging 7 points, 1.5 rebounds, 1 assist. He's shooting around a little under 40% from the field and 38% from three, which is not bad. Also 66.7 from the free throw line, but I have not seen that guy shoot a single free throw all year. So I don't know when those happened. But essentially, Grimes' usage has been lower, and his advanced numbers are bad. Like, for instance, look at his advanced numbers right here. I know it's hard to see. I'm actually leaning into my computer to see them. If you look at Grimes' PER, he's at a career worst 7.3, which is pretty abysmal. That's like Kevin Knox numbers in like year 3 or something. But also if you go to his usage rate, his first season, obviously he played a little more sporadically and started getting more minutes in the second half of the season. He had a 15.1 usage rate, which isn't bad. And then last year, a 14.4, which is pretty solid for a fourth option. This year it's gone down to a 12.6. And his true shooting is the worst it has ever been in the NBA. He's really shooting 54.7% for his true shooting percentage, which is his career low. It's a bummer to see because Quentin Grimes has been an awesome player for the Knicks in the past. And something to highlight is the fact that his defense has still been really good. It's not like he's just completely forgot how to play basketball. He's been a good defender this season, but he hasn't really gotten a chance on offense, and I do think that is also probably going to affect his defense at some point, if it hasn't already, because if he's thinking that he's just there to play defense, then he's going to forget about his offensive game, he's going to lose all confidence, and then that confidence is going to carry over to the defensive end, and then he's not going to be the same defender. Grimes was not getting used properly as a starter, and that was evidently clear to everyone who was watching Knicks games. He just never really got a chance to shoot. So many games, it was just he was shooting like 1 time or 2 times per game. They were both threes, and they were more just open threes that he would take, while also passing up other open looks, which is just a clear lack of confidence if you're a guy like Quentin Grimes, who's shown that you can be a 40% shooter from deep for the season if you get it going like that. He's shown that he's one of the most dynamic shooters on the Knicks. We saw that last night against the Raptors. He went 5 for 7 from 3 last night. He hit a bunch of huge threes. He hit a few in a row. He really had it going. He was having a tremendous game, and that's because he was getting the touches so he could warm up, so he could get that chance to have that game. He wasn't only sitting on the perimeter shooting threes. Even in the best game that he had in that one preseason game, when he was like the best player playing because the Knicks benched most of their guys, we saw Grimes take all but one of his shots from three because he knew that's what the Knicks were expecting of him. Just stand there and shoot threes on offense and do nothing else. But when he's allowed to do more, like come off the bench and be the leading scorer for the bench unit, be that first option, he's going to ball out. And that's exactly what we saw. And that's not always going to happen even when he is on the bench because Emmanuel Quickley's there. Quickley is the first bench option. He is the Knicks' sixth man. But Grimes has shown that when he gets opportunities, he can be an efficient scorer on top of an elite defender. And somehow the Knicks have not figured this out. And it's not on Quentin Grimes. It's on the coaching. And the reason that is because Dante Divincenzo is not playing well also now since he's been on the bench. If you look at Grimes' numbers right here, those last two most recent games are the games that he started, and then the three before are the games, the last two games are the games that he came off the bench, and the 3 games before are the 3 games that he started. If you look, his plus-minus was the worst in all 3 of those games, despite 2 of the 3 of them being wins. And he just hardly ever shot the ball. Against Milwaukee, he shot once in 18 minutes. When you're one of the best shooters on the team, you have to shoot the ball more in 18 minutes. That's one of the reasons why he was getting taken out. But it wasn't just because of his confidence. If you look at these other games, 0 for 5, 0 for 3 from 3, 1 for 3 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. He was only getting a few shots. You can't warm up if you're shooting the ball once per game from 3. The people who are shooting the ball once per game from 3 are the people who are not good three-point shooters, who are wide open, and the game is in some sort of position where you are confident enough or comfortable enough to shoot a 3, whether it's some sort of blowout, or the Knicks are just on fire, or the team desperately needs a basket and they're leaving you wide open, and you're a player who theoretically can hit 3s. For instance, someone like Isaiah Hartenstein, who shoots 1 every blue moon, but, he's got the capability of making it. Grimes was not being played in the right role, and that's evidently clear. And if you look at Dante Divincenzo's numbers on the season, he was averaging 8.6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 42% from the field and from 3, and had a better PER than Grimes. Obviously, if you look at those numbers right there, you would say, yeah, he should absolutely be the starting shooting guard. I was saying that for a while, and not just for the sake of the Knicks having a better starting lineup then, because I also thought that Grimes getting more shots would get more confident. It's so much easier to play basketball if you know that if you miss one shot, you're not going to come out of the game, and that you know that if you miss one shot, you could get the ball back on the same possession. Grimes missed a shot and in the same possession got the ball back, took a 3, and made it last night. That would have never happened if he was playing with the starting unit, and that's because you have RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Jalen Brunson, who are usually going to take around 55 shots per game. That's most of the shots that a team is going to shoot per game. Your 3 best players want to score the ball all the time. And that has led to Mitchell Robinson never getting a chance to post up, something that he's complained about, something that his trainer has complained about, and then a spot-up shooter in Quentin Grimes, who's way more than that, only getting to shoot 1 3 per game. If you have a guy who is a very good spot-up shooter who's shooting nearly 40% from 3, you can't have them shooting 1 3 per game. RJ Barrett is not shooting as well. Why is he taking more 3s than Quentin Grimes? Why is Julius Randle? Randle just had a tremendous game last night. He only took 3 threes, and the Knicks won, while Grimes took 7. Why? Because Quentin Grimes is a better shooter than Julius Randle. I don't understand what the Knicks are doing, and this is on coaching. This is on Tibbs. This is not on RJ Brunson and Randle shooting the ball. We all know that if you run a freelance offense, 3 guys who like to shoot the ball are going to shoot the ball, especially when they're getting paid the big bucks, when they know they're probably not getting traded off the team. They don't have that much to lose, especially because they've all been in the NBA and all gotten consistent minutes a lot longer than Quentin Grimes, who has really been getting consistent minutes for basically around 2 seasons by now. That first season, 2 years ago at this point, Quentin Grimes was not seeing the court because he was a late 20-round pick, and Tibbs doesn't really play young guys that much unless you were drafted real high. And it's been so weird. And if you look here at Divincenzo's numbers, look, he was playing well, and then he takes last game, 1 for 2, both his shots from 3. Lowest plus minus he's had in the no, not really actually. It's actually his highest plus minus. Excuse me, I misread those minuses. But look, a minus 21 as the starting shooting guard. When he played more minutes, or, well, less minutes against the Bucks, it's because he wasn't shooting well, because that game was a nightmare. And then those other 2 games off the bench, he looked fine. He played well. It was so weird. Why are the starting shooting guards on the Knicks not getting shots? It's something has to change, and it's on Tibbs to do this, because you're wasting a position on the court that is supposed to be the Knicks' best spot-up shooter. Those Sirens better be coming to go get Tom Thibodeau and tell him to make new plays for the New York Knicks. This is ridiculous, and it's going to hurt the team in the future. Thank you so much for watching. It has been a while since I've done a solo video. I've been quite sick, but you guys don't really care about my life. We're here to talk basketball. Have a great day, guys. Go Knicks.